メジャー翻訳速報。
カクタスリーグも佳境を迎え、ドジャースの日本人選手たちの活躍が本当に目を見張りますね。大谷翔平選手は4打数2安打と安定した打撃を見せ、さらに先日の佐々木朗希選手の驚異的な球威に私も興奮しました。現地解説者も絶賛する日本人選手の評価をお届けします。ぜひコメント欄で皆さんの意見もお聞かせください。チャンネル登録もよろしくお願いします。
We welcome you inside our Sportsnet LA studio, joined by Jerry Hairston Jr. Jay Hair, I remember you called this a must-win like over a week ago. The Dodgers have reeled off 7 consecutive wins. Of course, nobody cares about that, but we saw most of the everyday players in the lineup today. A lot of them had really good days offensively. We saw some good stuff pitching as well.
Well, Jonathan, you know, I appreciate the guys listening. They watch us all the time right before the game. We called it must win because we weren't playing too well at the time. They have rattled off 7 in a row. They took the challenge, John, and they took it personal.
From 2-6 now to 9-6, your Dodgers getting it done in Cactus League play. Also, really good Cactus League in spring for Dustin May. 3 scoreless innings today, and afterwards he talked about it with Kirsten Watson and the media.
Dustin, just to have your 3rd outing of spring, kind of how are you feeling in regard to build-up and progressing to get ready for the regular season?
Build-up feels good. Finally being healthy is a huge accomplishment internal for me. Being able to go out there and actually feel good while getting outs is also a big thing because it's been a while since I've done that. Even through my first rehab when I was back, it never felt right. It was always throwing through pain, but now I'm throwing without pain, so it feels really, really good.
When you think about kind of just a normal spring training, what your normal build-up looks like, what's kind of just like the final checkpoint for you, especially knowing that this team and you guys are going to be leaving to head to Japan next week?
I mean, for me, just being able to being able to log innings, being able to just get the reps back out on the mound against hitters, keep the intensity up, being able to have the adrenaline and be able to recover and get back out there again.
Davis talked about today, obviously you're in the conversation for that 5th starter in the rotation, but if need be, could be opportunity coming out of the bullpen, being a length guy, things like that. How valuable has it been just knowing that in the past you do kind of have experience doing both if need be?
I mean, I'm willing to do whatever for the team. I would definitely prefer to start, but whatever is going to keep me healthy in the big leagues and being able to just log innings because I haven't been able to do that in the past, I will be open to do that.
Dave talked about earlier today in regards like your slider specifically. He said that he's never seen it as great as it's been now. Like overall, what do you feel like you worked on to get it to that point?
I mean, just hammering reps. I worked on it a lot this offseason to be able to get it to the left side of the plate because I get real lazy with it sometimes. I did that a couple of times a day, but for the most part I was able to execute it over the middle or the left side of the plate. So that was the biggest thing for me, is just being able to finish the throw.
Is that more of just an intent thing then than anything like grip-wise or anything like that?
I mean, no, it's just not trying. I mean, I guess I can't say lazy because I just get too early with it. I get real excited to throw it, and then I exit early, I pull my front side, and then it just kind of dumps out instead of being able to finish through it.
How much is that sort of something, especially as you're kind of working your feel back, something that you're going to have to lean on a little bit, especially with how it plays off the same guard?
I mean, it's going to be huge. Being able to land that's probably going to be my biggest thing for the whole year. If I can land that, it opens up doors for every other pitch that I have. So being able to land the breaking ball is going to be huge.
Jerry, with everything Dustin May has been through over the last couple of years, he's had the physical hurdles he's needed to overcome, the mental hurdles as well. And we just heard him talking about it's great just to be able to throw a baseball, not be in pain. And he's looked really good this spring.
Surprisingly, I shouldn't say surprisingly, but listen, you mentioned it's been a long time since you've been on a mound, a big league mound, and facing hitters. And I've been really pleased with his command. Love the changeup right there. That's that 3rd or 4th pitch. We know about that breaking ball, that fastball run up anywhere from 98 to 100 miles an hour. That great running fastball. So here's a nice slider, a tight slider getting Ahmed, and this breaking ball that freezes. Jonathan Ornelas right there, 1.5. Outstanding movement on stuff, outstanding command of all his pitches. So he is definitely ahead of schedule. So we never know what's going to happen down the line. Could he start coming out of the bullpen? We don't know. But the most important thing, he said it there. is making sure he gets innings under his belt this season, and all he cares about is helping the team win.
He would love to be that number 5 starter. Tony Gonsolin, another good candidate as well for the Dodgers. Right now, let's go right back to Camelback Ranch, though. The skipper, Dave Roberts, with Kirsten.
Well, Dave, today we saw Dustin May set this one off 3 innings from him. What did you see from him, just how he continues to progress and with his build-up?
I think progressing is the right word. I liked where he was at today. There were a couple walks in there, but I just thought overall he threw the ball well, fielded his position really well, induced some soft contact, and a pretty efficient 3 innings.
And of course, you recently, when you talked about Michael Conforto, you said that he's going to be that everyday guy in left field. You also called him your pick to click. When a player like that goes 3 for 3 in the ballgame, what does that say about just where he is during the spring?
Michael's all bought in on the hitting guys and being a Dodger, and I just like the way he goes about playing baseball, and today was a good day. Just hitting the ball all over the field. Even that lefty stayed in on the left. He got a base hit, so just starting to look more comfortable here.
Yeah, obviously you've talked about how timing when it comes to the hitters is everything. When you see the results like today, whether it's the Freddie Freeman home run, Will Smith, does it seem like those guys are just in a really good spot right now?
I do. Freddie seems like he's just been locked in all spring. Will Smith, I really like where he's at physically with his swing as well. Miggy Rowe got a knock. He's been really good all spring. Teo found a way to get a knock late. And I think everyone else kind of is falling in line. Tommy went deep again, and he just finds a way to take good at bats. So defensively, we're sound. Seeing a lot of good arms today out of the pen. So just kind of overall, I think the last week we've played really good baseball. And
also, we haven't really talked about Jackson Ferris. For him to, especially that first inning he was out there, to have 3 straight strikeouts, how has he just impressed you so far?
I just think his poise, obviously, it's 95 to 97. He's just got good mound presence for a 21-year-old ball player, first year in camp. You'd never know. So his future is certainly bright.
I can't wait to see what happens, Dave. Thank you so much, and congrats on the win today.
All right, Kirsten.
7th straight spring win, 8-4 the final. Dustin May, 3 scoreless innings, allowed just 1 hit, had 3 strikeouts. Shohei, a 2-for-4 day with a double. Freddie Freeman, 1-for-3, his 3rd spring homer, which leads the team. Will Smith, 1-for-3 with his first home run of the spring, and Michael Conforto, that 3-for-3 day with a double and scored a couple of runs. Cactus League play winding down. Only 5 more games in Arizona. The final night game of the spring is tomorrow in Peoria against the Mariners. The time change comes Sunday morning, so the final 3 games will be at 1 o'clock LA time. All of these games right here on Sportsnet LA next Wednesday. Wheels up to Japan. Carl's Jr. moment of the game. The Dodgers had a few homers today, Jerry. This is Will Smith's first of Cactus League play. This had to feel good.
I love that he stayed square, stayed tall, especially with your upper body. Sometimes you have that high leg kick. You tend to crouch down. You do not want to do that. Hopefully that's a good sign for Will Smith. We're going to need his bat in the middle of the lineup.
Absolutely. Another really good sign today. Michael Conforto goes 3-for-3. Let's hear from him right now with Kirsten and the media.
Well, Michael, yesterday when we were talking to Dave Roberts, he was saying, similar to himself, by the way, spring training, not always kind of the best time of the year for some guys. But to see you have a 3-for-3 day, how are you just feeling offensively? Do you feel like maybe you've unlocked something, or just kind of heading into a really good spot now with 1 week left here?
Yeah, well, typically spring has been tough for me. I've had a couple good springs in the big leagues, but, it takes a little bit of time for me to get my timing back. And today, we did a lot of work. I've been frustrated, obviously. Nobody wants to go out there and make outs and not feel right. So we put a little extra work in, work some things out, and, just kind of, I think really what it was just leveling out my swing a little bit and being on time, and 2 simple things. And sometimes it's a little easier said than done, but today was a good day, so it's a good place to start.
As you mentioned, it's obviously like a game of adjustments. Do you think these ones that you've made, though, today are things kind of you look to continue, especially just out throughout the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a constant process. The idea is to stay, somewhat consistent in my routine and what I'm thinking up there. Have a good base to come back to. I mean, write everything down that I'm feeling, things that didn't work, things that I've had more success with, and really, I mean, spring's about building the base and and having a place to go when things kind of get a little screwy. So, like I said, I mean, it's going to be a process all year, but I feel good. I feel good at this point.
Jerry, we talk all the time about we don't care about the numbers when it comes to veteran players during spring training, but we heard Michael Conforto saying, yeah, he knows he was 2 for 17, making a lot of outs. He was frustrated, worked on some things, which I liked before this game, and then he goes out there and responds with a 3-hit day.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. You definitely want results. Now, you understand that results don't matter in spring training, especially if you're a veteran guy, but you want to make sure you're comfortable in the batter's box. You want to make sure you're seeing the ball well, having hard contact. We just saw that approach there with 2 strikes the other way on a line. So, yes, I don't care if you're a 10-year vet, 15-year vet, or a rookie. It always helps to have confidence, especially in the batter's box.
What did it tell you where he says he was working on leveling out his swing? Seems like it's something that maybe some hitters are starting to go back to a little bit because we hear so much about launch angle and lifting and uppercutting and everything.
Launch angle is a result of a great swing. You catch the ball out front. You drop that barrel behind you, good luck with that swing, especially in the big leagues.
Well, one guy we know his swing looks really good is Freddie Freeman. He missed some time at the start of spring, Jerry, as he recovers from the ankle surgery, but he looks great.
There's a guy that you never worry about, especially when he's healthy, is Freddie Freeman. You know he's going to figure it out. Good to see that he is healthy. Now, we understand he's going to continue to work on that ankle throughout the season, especially early on. You see a little limp there. Maybe it's a little sore because he's been on cleats, last couple weeks getting ready for the season, but he's out there rolling. And you know what? You don't have to run fast when you hit bombs. Right. So I'm going to tell Freddie, hey, why don't you just hit home runs twice a game? That way you can save your legs.
All right, he's got 3 home runs to lead the Dodgers in Cactus League play. Still more to in the big leagues.
Well, that's a great sign. And I love the fact that he could swing the bat. And the main thing for Dalton Rushing is making sure you really develop as a catcher. That's a short, compact swing through the middle of the batter's box. He got some pop in that bat, I really believe. And I agree with manager Doc Roberts. He's big league ready. He'll lefty on lefty going the other way. He had a lot of power last season as well. So continue developing as a catcher because you're asked to make sure you lead a pitching staff once you get to the big leagues. So continue development down the minor leagues as a catcher.
And that's what it's all about for all these guys. And Josue DePaula, only 19 years of age, but he's one of those guys who came in with a man's body already from the time they signed him. He's drawn comparisons to Yordan Alvarez of the Astros. Probably not a fair comp at this point of his career, Jerry, but DePaula has shown good plate discipline in the minors, and that power is only going to develop.
I love this kid's swing and makeup. Yes, he's 19 years young, but he has an approach as a 25, 26-year-old. He will rake in the big leagues, but he's just 19. Continue to develop it. More importantly, he needs to develop as a really good outfielder. You see that tall, lengthy frame? Sometimes his routes aren't ready yet, but you remember, he's 19 years young. So I think this year and next year, he's going to use that opportunity to continue to develop as a hitter, but more importantly, as an outfielder.
And Zaire Hope, he came over from the Cubs. He's only 20 years of age, but he was part of that Michael Busch trade before last year. Missed almost 3 months with a shoulder injury last year, Jerry. Played well for Rancho after he returned, and he's shown some really good things this spring.
I have looked at this kid swing a lot this spring training. I saw what he did in the minor leagues as well. He's a plus outfielder. He is a lot better athlete. I'm going to say this, John, as he looks, I'm telling you, he can swing the bat, and I'm going to put it out there right now. He's going to do well in the minor leagues, but his swing, I think he's going to be a better big league hitter than he is a minor league hitter. Now, I don't know what the power numbers are going to be. Is it going to be 15? Is it going to be 25? But he's not afraid to go the other way. At 20 years of age, he goes the other way with authority and can turn on a fastball.
And the other guy who came over in that trade is Jackson Ferris, also in the Michael Busch trade. Reached Double-A last year at the age of 20, Jerry. He's a guy to really keep an eye on this season. He showed why today.
I'm going to tell you right now, John, I have a lot of friends that are Cubs fans. They are going to regret that trade. Michael Busch is a stud. He's raking for the Cubs. This kid alone, we just talked about Hope. He's going to be a really good player. Jackson Ferris will be an ace in the big leagues. I am not afraid to say it. He's got the makeup, the stuff. He's a combination of Max Fried and Clayton Kershaw. I know that sounds crazy. I'm telling you. I've seen a lot of kids come up through the system, variety organization. I played with a lot of young guys when I was coming through the system. He's got that it factor.
He was telling us last year when he was at the stadium as part of their top prospects, minor league players of the year, he said he wants to win a Cy Young, so he has big dreams and big goals. We are 4 weeks into camp now, Jerry, 15 games in Cactus League play. What do you think of that crop of newcomers for the Dodgers in 2025?
I like the combination. We have obviously a couple of relievers that are itching to win World Series. Blake Snell is a guy who's a two-time Cy Young Award winner. He wants to win. We got a young phenom in rookie. We saw he has nasty stuff. And I just love that it's a great mixture from all walks of life. We got some little bit of young, little older guys. They're not old. They're a little older, but still want to prove themselves. I really believe Michael Conforto is going to have a great season, being that guy to solidify the bottom, half of the order, 6, 7 hole. But you always need guys that have that hunger. Yes, we have our foundation with Mookie, Shohei, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, guys that have won. But we need new guys that are hungry, that want to taste that champagne for the very first time after winning World Series. So it's a perfect combination to have and make a serious run at repeating.
And to that point, really every player that we talked to said having that chance to win was the main reason why they decided to sign with the Dodgers, Jerry. Competing for championships every single year, that's a hard thing for these guys to turn down if they have the opportunity to come here.
It is. And you know what? Listen, I know we get a lot of flack, the Dodgers do, for trying to buy championships. Listen, it is so hard to win at this sport. There's so many variables that come into play. Blake Snell can only pitch once a series. Obviously, Sasaki as well. So you got to make sure you have a deep roster, a talented roster. But there have been talented teams before that have not won. We saw what the Padres did a couple years ago when they had Soto, Tatis Jr., all of those studs go along with Machado and a plethora of starting pitchers. They couldn't win. So bringing in guys, but the right guys to fit what we already have, that's crucial. So that's why they make sure they get high character guys with talent. So listen, there's nothing guaranteed, especially in this sport, but the Dodgers are poised to make a serious run.
We know they want to win, Jerry. Plus, a lot of these guys have talked about how with this organization and their development, the way that they're able to get the best out of a lot of pitchers as well. And we've seen guys like Evan Phillips who haven't really succeeded. We talked about Anthony Bonda as well. They come here, and the Dodgers are able to bring the best out of these guys.
And that's so important, to make sure you have coaching staff, you have guys in the analytical department to not only have that information, but know how to decipher the information to give it to the right guys. Listen, I'm a guy that wants a lot of information, but I'm going to decipher the information where, you know what, this may not help me, but this could help me. So they're able to do that with a variety of guys, from the pitching side to the hitters as well. So that's why guys want to be over here. Development, the right coaching staff, and it's a really good place to perform at a high level.
All right, so tomorrow night, Friday night baseball, under the lights in Peoria, Jerry. Dodgers, Mariners, 5:30 p.m., pregame at 5. Do the players like night games in Arizona?
Yes, you like night games because you get a chance to sleep in, but also as you get closer to opening day, the majority of your games are going to be under the lights. So you want to make sure you get enough at-bats under the lights.
And this is their last chance to play under the lights before they open the season in Tokyo against the Chicago Cubs. For Jerry and Kirsten, I am John. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, pregame, 5 o'clock on Sportsnet LA. See you then.
メジャー翻訳速報。
今回は大谷選手に加え、山本由伸選手や佐々木朗希選手など、連覇を狙うドジャースはまさに日本人選手の活躍が鍵となりそうです。このチャンネルでは今後も現地メディアの貴重な情報を日本語でお届けしていきます。最新情報をお見逃しなく、今のうちにチャンネル登録と高評価、よろしくお願いします。